Welcome to episode 12 of 100 Days of Data. I'm Jonas, an AI professor, here to explore the foundations of data in AI with you.
And I, Amy, an AI consultant, excited to bring these concepts to life with stories and practical insights. Glad you're joining us.
Today, we're diving into a simple-sounding but incredibly important tool in data and AI, the JSON.stringify method.
That's right. If you ever wondered how complex data structures get transformed so they can be sent, stored, or processed, this little method plays a huge role.
Let's start with the basics. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. Think of it as a universal language for data. It's a lightweight format used to store and exchange information, especially between servers and web applications.
I see JSON almost everywhere in my work, from APIs that pull customer data for personalized marketing to automotive software updating you on your car's performance.
Exactly. Now, JSON.stringify is a method used in programming, especially in JavaScript, that converts a JavaScript object or value into a JSON string. In other words, it turns structured data into a text format that can be easily sent over the internet or saved somewhere.
So it's like translating a detailed Enigma machine message into plain text that others can read, right?
A very apt analogy. Imagine you have a complex object in your code, lots of nested data, arrays, even functions, though those get tricky, and you need to send it from your app to a web server. JSON.stringify does the heavy lifting by converting this data into a string that's easy to transmit.
That's important because in the real world, data exchange is everywhere. Let me share an example from finance. A bank might use JSON.stringify when sending transaction records from the client's mobile app to the central server. Those transactions are complex objects: date, amount, merchant info, location, and so on.
Right. And if the bank didn't structure this data properly before sending, the server might not understand or might misinterpret it, causing errors or data loss.
Exactly. And JSON.stringify makes sure the data keeps its integrity during this journey. What's interesting is that this method also helps when storing data locally. For example, a retail app might use it to save your shopping cart in your browser's local storage.
That's a good segue into the theory side. JSON, as a data format, is designed to be both human-readable and machine-friendly. This means when you stringify an object, the result isn't just garbled code, it's text you can actually inspect.
That's huge for troubleshooting and debugging. I often tell clients that understanding JSON strings can save them hours because they can see exactly what data is being sent or saved.
There are important considerations when using JSON.stringify. For instance, some data types don't convert well. Functions, undefined, and certain special values don't get serialized. They usually get ignored or converted into null.
Yeah, I ran into that with a healthcare client once. They had a patient record object with functions for calculations embedded inside. When they tried to serialize it to send over to a cloud service, those parts vanished, leading to confusion.
This highlights how JSON.stringify is meant for data representation rather than executable code. You're capturing the essence of data, not behavior.
Good point. And there's also a neat feature. I love this. JSON.stringify actually lets you customize the output with replacers and formatting. For instance, you can filter out sensitive fields or pretty print the JSON to make it more readable.
Precisely. The replacer parameter can be a function or an array that lets you define exactly which properties to include. This is particularly useful in privacy-conscious environments like healthcare or finance.
Let's talk about performance and size. When you talk about big data or streaming APIs, the size of your serialized JSON matters a lot.
Absolutely. While JSON is compact compared to formats like XML, when you stringify large nested objects without optimization, you can end up with bulky payloads. This can slow down network transmission and inflate storage.
That's why I've seen companies implement strategies like compressing JSON or even switching to binary formats like protocol buffers for internal systems, where speed and size are critical.
And yet, JSON's advantage remains its simplicity and universality. It's supported everywhere and easy to debug, making JSON.stringify a staple in data-driven applications.
Another practical case, in automotive tech, manufacturers use JSON.stringify to send telemetry data from connected cars back to cloud platforms for analysis.
That data can be extensive: sensor readings, GPS coordinates, diagnostic status, and turning that into JSON strings helps unify the transmissions across different systems and languages.
Exactly, and having that standardized data means manufacturers can quickly pinpoint issues or optimize vehicle performance remotely. It's real business impact, powered by what seems like a simple method.
To wrap up the conceptual side, JSON.stringify represents a bridge between complex data structures in code and a simple, transferable format. By enabling this transformation, it underpins countless AI and data workflows.
And from a practical standpoint, its correct use improves system interoperability, helps maintain data integrity, and facilitates easier debugging across industries.
So, Amy, if a manager asked you how to leverage JSON.stringify in their AI or data projects, what would you say?
I'd focus on understanding your data flows, where data comes from and where it needs to go. Use JSON.stringify to make sure that data is packaged accurately and efficiently. Also, don't forget to validate and test your JSON strings early to avoid endpoint errors.
That's sound advice. And I'd add, recognize what JSON.stringify can and cannot do. You're encoding data, not behavior, and be mindful of which parts of your objects get serialized.
Totally. It's about building trust in your data pipelines. When data conversion is reliable, AI models get the consistent input they need to perform well.
So, here's our key takeaway. Jonas speaking first. JSON.stringify is a fundamental tool that converts complex data objects into a standardized, easy-to-transmit JSON string, ensuring that information can flow reliably between clients, servers, and storage.
And to add, mastering JSON.stringify helps you control how data moves in your business applications, making your AI and data projects more robust and easier to maintain.
Next time on 100 Days of Data, we'll explore JSON.parse, the natural partner to JSON.stringify, and how it reconstructs data from strings back into objects.
If you're enjoying this, please like or rate us 5 stars in your podcast app. We'd love to hear your questions or experiences with data serialization. Send them our way, and we might feature them in a future episode.
Thank you for listening.
Until tomorrow, stay curious, stay data-driven.